Hello everyone, this is LaShonda from Labors of Love with another Therapy Thursday video. Today I would like to talk about the power of our words. So recently my family and I were at a funeral and it was a long service. So I took my twin toddler daughters out of the area where the funeral was being held into another area of the church to give them the freedom to kind of move about and play a little bit without being disruptive to the service. So there was a gentleman who I believe worked for the funeral home who noticed the girls, and I got the typical questions like, "Oh, are they twins? How old are they?" and things like that. And then he looked at me and said, "So which twin's the good twin?" So there are numerous reasons why that question is just not okay, and that's really what I want to talk about today. So one, by asking someone which one's the good twin, or is she a good girl, is he a good boy, those questions, one, what criteria are we using to determine whether or not children are good or not? Second, by asking me to tell you which of my twins is the good twin, you're in essence asking me to label the other twin not good by default. My response was, they both are exactly who they are, and that's good. So after that, he no longer really engaged me in conversation about that. But I see it happening very frequently. And I can just think back over, my years of growing up that's frequently how people evaluate children. Are you being a good girl? Are you being a good boy? And I want to invite us to think about the power of our words. Children begin to develop their self concept largely based on how the influential adults in their lives treat them and how they label them and the words they choose to use. We, as adults who have children in our lives, in whatever capacity that may be, need to realize the power that our words have and choose very carefully when we are speaking words into the lives of young people. Some examples that I might hear are, that kid is just hard headed or so defiant. And the reality is, maybe they're just determined and exploratory. They're just clingy. Are they clingy or are they loving? They're so bossy, trying to be bossy. Are they bossy or are they assertive? I mean, why that kid gotta be so picky? Are they picky or are they decisive? Like, there are so many words that we use that have negative connotations that we're assigning to children. And we're not even assigning them necessarily to the behavior of children. We're assigning them to the character of the children themselves. And that's very dangerous. By choosing to use life affirming words, we can help form a positive, or help the children form a positive self concept and image for themselves. And we can help boost their self esteem instead of tearing them down or helping them to develop a self concept that tells them that they are these negative things instead of all of the good things that come from them. So, reframing is necessary. But the reframe isn't just for the child, it impacts us as well. The words we choose to assign to children and the behaviors they display, which, for the record, are often just their attempts to communicate, and we miss that a lot. So, the words we choose will influence how we treat them. If I am labeling a kid as bossy, well, I'm going to get an attitude. Who you think you is? Look, you think they are trying to boss me around. Well, that's because I've determined that they're being bossy. But if I say they're being assertive, then I go, wow, they really are trying to communicate to me what they need. Let me help them get that need met. When we label a kid overly emotional, then we're sitting there feeling like, oh, they're just doing too much. Or are they passionate? And we can help them to achieve the things they want because they're passionate about them. They're really trying to communicate something passionately, and we need to listen. So not only do the words we use influence how the children see themselves, it influences how we see them, therefore how we treat them. If you are struggling to reframe the actions and behaviors of children in your life and need help, Labors of Love would love to walk alongside you in that journey. Feel free to reach out to us at www.thelaborsoflove.com. And until next week, be well.